the portion is Ekev, and Ekev, as we all know, is heal or because of. Vaya Ekev tishme'un. The portion is telling us that if you will listen, it give you what we call milat nai, condition. If you will listen and you keep everything else, then you will see how wonderful life is, and then you will see the love of God and the love of the Creator. Now, what is going on here? I mean, what does that mean? If you will listen, then you will be able to experience all the love of God. And how is listening look like? And what do I need to do that listening become activated? Now, after that, it says that if you have pain, you have to remember that that pain that happened after you listen is only a pain that almost like a father caused pain to his son to teach him how to survive life. Now, why he mentioned father and son? Why not mother and daughter? Because we know that the father tend to be more tough for the sake of the son survive. One of the mitzvot, one of the command that's required for a father and son is to make sure to teach a son to work, a job, and to swim, actually. That's the other one, you know? So it's all about survival. Then, of course, teaching spirituality. And the portion continue and said to you, do not be afraid when you see giant scaring you. Giant does not necessarily mean giant. It means when you start going into life. And last night we had a moment, our family, and it was Yuda's birthday, my son, and he's talking about college that he's leaving, not this Wednesday, Sunday. So we sit together and he make all of us cry. And usually he doesn't cry. And he cried, yeah. And we cried. And he said, well, I'm going on my own now. It's kind of beginning. So, well, I try to make it like not a big deal. It's before the beginning. You know, it is beginning because I'm really happy. And I'm afraid, but I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And the idea is to open up and talk about it and make everybody else cry. It's beautiful. And I told him, well, you're born in this parasha. And this parasha said that don't worry when you see challenges that seem too big. Don't worry when you see things that seem that there is no way to convert the challenge into something positive. Because once you are shomea, once you listen, then everything starts to open up. And most, if you look, the entire parasha is telling you advice how to live your spiritual journey. And he keep repeating that you have to remember that God will not take bribe from anybody. It's not like human that take bribe. Now, bribe is not necessarily with money. Bribe can be with a smile. Bribe can be with different things. People take bribe. People take bribe. You know, it's almost like that movie, I think it's called Goodfellow, you know, with that woman who played there, I don't remember her name, and she tipped the people who parked the car, the
Valley.
What?
Valley.
The valley. So she tipped them, and that's how she made a connection. I think it was Michelle Pfeiffer, yeah? A great movie, by the way, I don't know if you ever saw it. It's a mafia movie, and it said that it was a true story, you know? That's what it said. Why are you laughing?
It's one of the most famous.
Oh, it is famous? It wasn't a famous movie. I mean, Godfather was famous, no? Was that a famous too? Oh. Okay, so it is famous. Then it continue, and it say when you're going to get to the land of Israel, everything in the land of Israel is different than where you live. Now, why is the land of Israel can keep mentioned as special? There is a very famous story about a rabbi who traveled all the way to be in Israel. And he heard that Jerusalem has been destroyed. He came to Jerusalem and he saw there is marketplace, there is good food, there is good life. He said, why they say everything's been destroyed and it's really bad? It's actually good life here. What are they talking about? And the idea is that what's been destroyed in Jerusalem is the upper level, not the lower level. So that's why when people go to Israel, unfortunately most people have been in Israel, not the people who go with Debbie and myself, we try to tell people, hey, connect to the inner energy. So when you go to Israel and you connect to Tel Aviv, it's like New York. So you can be in Israel but actually not being there. Because to be in Israel is where you are. Where are you actually? Where are you? Every time when you're going down, when things start to go really bad for you, always look at your heel. It's a secret meditation. Look at your feet. When you look at your feet, you cannot say, I'm in New York or LA or wherever I am. So let's say you have a bad time. Look at your feet. Your feet look the same. Nothing changed. Once you lift your head, then you know where you are. But once you look at your feet, you don't know where you are. The feet always look the same. Wherever you sit, whenever you're in New York, always do that. It helps a lot of people. So you look at your feet. I always tell people that advice. And it's keeping you grounded. That's why Ekev has to do with the heel. And we need to remember those little things that don't seem important are very, very important. The question I have for you today, and we're going to read the Zohar in a second, that why the entire Zohar of Ekev talk about food. Food. How is food has to do with the consciousness of being able to connect to all the goodness that exists in this world. Somehow food. And if you go to every spiritual event, it has to end up with a meal. Doesn't matter what religion you are. You have to end up with a meal. Seudah, feast, something. At the end of the prayer, something. If you go Catholic, you're going to get those crackers with wine. Okay? If you're Jewish, you're going to get kigel and a piece of challah and wine. If you're Muslim, you're going to get pita and makluba. Makluba is rice mixed with meat, whatever. I don't want to go into details. Every religion, every spiritual people know the meal. So there is something about the food, but we forgot what the food is. We forgot. It's actually through the food you can finish your tikkun. If you know how to eat, if you know how to meditate with the food, you can arrange your entire life to get better just by eating well. Now today, already because of knowledge of a lot of people and knowledge of a lot of Kabbalists for 2,000 years, they say that all disease come from the wrong food and all cure come from the right food. All disease. Why? Because this is the esophagus, right? In Hebrew it's called veshet. Veshet is the same letter almost as Satan. So this is actually whatever you eat. That's the head of the snake. So we need to remember what is food, what do we need to do? And that's why we have a new voice tonight. We have Rob, who's been on many cartoons, as you know it. Shrek, for example. And he's going to read for us. We're going to make sure that we understand what Rob is trying to tell us, and we're going to talk about it in a few seconds. You ready, Rob? Okay. Just small letters so you can see well. All right.
Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken to these judgments, Devarim 7:12, when you have eaten and are replete, then you shall be blessed Hashem your Elohim. We are commanded to bless the Holy One. Blessed be He for everything we eat and drink and enjoy in this world. He who does not bless is considered as stealing from the Holy One. Blessed be He, as it is written. He who robs his father or his mother, and the friends explain that it applies to the Holy One, blessed be He. The blessings that a person gives the Holy One, blessed be He, are meant to draw life from the source of life, which is Binah, to the holy name of the Holy One, blessed be He. And these blessings are to pour on top of Him from that supernal oil that is the abundance of Chokhmah. From there, it is then drawn upon the whole world.
Great job, Rob. So we're going to continue and explain what Rob just read for us. And as we see, the blessing over the food before, after a while, is he mentioned two things. First, he's talking about stealing food from God. So when you're not blessing, that food, consider like you stole that. You cannot eat food that you didn't bless. Can't, impossible. Don't touch the food. Why? Because the food itself, what is the food? It's a physical thing. But the food is activating something spiritual. If you want to connect to the food as a vehicle to receive that spiritual thing, you have to bless the food. And you have to know what blessing is for what. For cake, you bless that. For fish, you have that blessing. You have to learn the blessing. Those blessings are actually activating energy that give you life and make you see life in a different color. Now, more than that, people who are not blessing are not aware that there is cause and effect. Cause and effect. What does the cause and effect look like? So I heard the great rabbi spoke on Friday from Jerusalem. Wonderful man. Rosenberg, I think if that's his name. And nice man. He shared something very nice. He said, somebody live in New Jersey. There's the train that comes from New Jersey to New York City, if you know. I think Penn Station, going to New Jersey, come back. People use it a lot. So you need to build a sukkah. You know what a sukkah is? You need to build a sukkah. He lived next to the train. And he said, you know what? At night, he decided to borrow, you know, the profile, those metal shape for the lane. You know, he just cut a little piece, like about 5 feet. Okay? You got that? You just cut it and just took it to build a sukkah, to do a mitzvah, to do a good thing. You know? And he said, after Sukkot, I'm going to put it back. Not consider like. Problem that the second day of Sukkot, it was all over the news, the paper and everything, that 100 people are injured. The train get off the lane and explode. Nobody died, thank God. So his wife heard when he bought this piece for the sukkah, told him, look what he did. He said, I didn't do it. I just borrowed it and I'm thinking, put it back in 5 days. I put it back. So what's wrong with you? Why am I sharing this story with you? Many times we are not aware of our action. We always think, no big deal. Whatever you think, no big deal. Be careful. You're touching food, be careful. It's a radioactive energy. If you don't separate the spiritual from the physical, don't touch it, don't eat. If you're not ready to do the blessing, do the blessing. Because that's remove the physical. And then I stay with the life. That's what gives you life. All those things is your life depends on it. Let's continue. Verse 2, please.
It is also written, when you have eaten and are replete, then you shall bless Hashem your Elohim. By these blessings a person pours out through his words abundance from the highest source, that is Binah. All the levels and sources of Zer and Bin and Malchut are blessed and filled with abundance to pour upon all the worlds, and everything is blessed together.
Okay, I think it's continue here in a very, very simple way. Say it after you ate, then you should bless. That's what we do Birkat Hamazon, that's our last blessing. And most people skip that. You know, most places, after they eat, everybody leave who care about the last blessing. But the last blessing is sealing the energy and nobody will steal away from you the just blessing you got. You receive a diamond. Don't you want to keep it in a safe? That's the last blessing. You want to keep it so it will stay with you. And he continue.
Therefore, a person needs to meditate on the secret of the blessings, so that the patriarchs who are Chesed, Gevurah, and Teferet of Zerampin, and the children who are Nesach, Had, and Yesod of Zerampin, shall be blessed altogether. Whoever blesses the Holy One, blessed be He, is blessed and receives his part from these blessings before the rest of the lower world. As soon as the name of the Holy One, blessed be He, is blessed from there, the initial portion of those blessings comes down and rests on the head of the one who said the blessing. We have already provided an explanation for this, as it is written, in all places where I cause my name to be pronounced, I will come to you, I will bless you. After that particular blessing comes and rests on the head of he who blessed, it spreads from there to the rest of the world.
So the beauty is, what is a blessing? Let's understand blessing for a second. So there is something coming from above, because you study the 10 sfirot. So something starts coming from the 7 lower sfirot. So first is travel to the chamber of Abraham, Chesed, then the chamber of Gvurah, Isaac, then Tiferet, Jacob, then Moses, Netzach, then Hod, Aaron, the high priest, then Yesod, Joseph the righteous, and then Malchut, King David. So when you do blessing, you're actually getting blessing from all the 7 levels. So what am I teaching you here tonight? Is am I teaching you just to do blessing? Not enough. How excited you are when you do that blessing. How wow you are when you do those blessings. Like to say to yourself, I am just receiving all what I'm looking for by eating and by doing the blessing. Because the reason I mentioned the train example is because I think we all agree that people are not aware of cause and effect, and people are not aware that they can fix their life in much easier way. People almost invite suffering because they believe they need to suffer first, then to have a good life. But God gave a method. God tell them, hey, listen, I create the universe. I think I know what's going on here. Just follow that. When you eat an apple, do Baruch Borei Pri Ha'etz, and you activate a certain energy. You eat Adama, potato, do Adama. You eat bread, go wash your hand. It's not to say thank you to God like many religious people want you to think. Today I had a wonderful, wonderful meeting with a wonderful, honest man. Oh, what a wonderful, sweet gentleman. So sweet. First time I met him. So he said, before we start, I don't know if you will still accept me to have a meeting with you. I said, what's the problem? He said, I'm not a believer. It's okay. The second thing, I don't believe in God. It's okay. So would you continue to talk to me? So I think it's not a problem. I said, wow, thank you. So I try a few priests, minister, and rabbi. And you said, yes, I like it. Then he asked me, smart guy. So why not? Why it's not a problem? I said, because if you understand what God is, and you understand how it's all operate, you already believe in God. So what do you mean? I said, let me ask you something. Do you believe in oxygen? He's a very scientific brain. Oxygen is oxygen. So it's the same thing. Same exact thing. What is God? God become bad connotation to people because of religion. But religion is not God. God is a goodness, the love, the mindfulness, the spirituality. That's what God is. It exists. It's a living thing that makes everything alive. So to activate yourself, you don't have to call it God. That's it. You can call it candy. And I asked him, after the meeting, I was so happy. I said, do you want to have another meeting? He said, well, that's a lot. I said, why? I said, I'm committing to change everything now. I need time. You get like, woo, that's a lot. So some people who said to you, and when you meet people, I don't believe in God, don't back off. They are so sweet. They are so honest. They are so real. They're the sweetest soul you're ever going to meet. Don't turn your back on them. The opposite. Those are the people that are the soul that's so beautiful because they believe. But because of religion, they lost the language. They lost the language that they believe in God. If religion was not exist, they will believe in God more than the religious people. They will believe more than the religious people. They believe in love. They believe in charity. They believe in helping the poor. They believe in helping old people who don't know where to. They believe in all of it. So what's the difference? They have a bad taste. So what do we read here? That every blessing has to go to so many levels? Who would not do a blessing? But because blessing, if you ask any Jewish person about blessing, any Christian person about blessing, any Muslim person about blessing. I met a guy who was studying to become imam. You know what imam is? Like a religious guru of Islam. And couldn't take it. So what happened? So, I can't. So do you believe? I said, I think I believe, but I'm afraid to say it because if I say I believe, then I have to go back to what they teach me, Guys, there's so many sweet people out there that they think they know because their parents or the rabbi or the priest or the imam told them they're bad people because they don't believe. They believe more than us, but they're afraid even to talk about it. They believe more than us. Look for them, hug them, encourage them, but don't encourage them to believe. Don't encourage them to follow God. Don't encourage them to do all those important things because the Zohar teaching us here something so simple. The blessing that God want to give is tremendous, but you have to activate it. It's almost when you want to open your phone. So you have your code, 197865. Okay? Anyway, it's a code. Blessing is a code to open all the blessings to come. Can you do more? Did we do 4 yet? No. No, I did 4.
When these blessings descend, they are adorned within the field of holy apple trees. That is Malchut. Many levels of those nominated over the world meet them there and come down together with them, announcing and proclaiming that it is the gift that this person sent to the Holy One, blessed be He. He asks, from which place do the blessings descend? He replies, the blessings descend afterward from the place of the head of the righteous, that is Yesod of Zerampin. The blessings first go up and cause the other blessings from above to go down, and it is filled from those that descend from above and from those that ascend from below. This is the meaning of blessings are upon the head of the just. Once that level is filled up, it pours upon the bride, which is Malchut, whence they flow and spread downward.
So how does it work? When you do blessing, you don't receive right away the energy. First, energy starts coming down. When energy starts coming down, it's touching the Malchut. When this filling up with the energy, then it starts to flow. Maybe that's why the Italian love those water, what do you call it? Fountain. You know, it's funny. And Japanese too. Japanese, in Japan, when they pour sake, the first cup has to pour out of the cup. That's why also the Avdallah. When we bless over the wine, we put wine and we let it flow a little bit. It's a sign for money and blessing. So the receiver has to be filled up enough and then overflow, and that overflow start to come as money, as health, as good time, as a smile. Who doesn't want a good time? Everybody wants a good time. Money is not enough. You want to be happy. How do you become happy? How do you become happy? Because you need to receive happiness. So blessing, whatever you do on the food, you know, it's activated so much more. And I'm sorry I'm going through those details. And the reason I'm saying I'm sorry because some of you might be, it's a lot of details, but we need to talk about it. Go ahead, 5.
When these blessings rise from below, there is no single opening above, and there is no appointee from up high that does not open these openings, and declare throughout the firmaments, this is the gift to the king, that so-and-so sent. This is a holy proper gift. What is a full blessing? It is a blessing to which amen was said. For every blessing to which amen was said is a properly full blessing.
So in the end of every blessing, you have to say amen. The question is why? You go to every church, they say amen. You ask them why they say amen. The meaning of the word amen in English would be amen. What does that mean? What does that mean in English? When people say amen.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree. But is amen I agree? No. Let's discover. If you take the letter Aleph in Hebrew, you get the numerological value of the letter Aleph is 1. If you take the letter Mem in Hebrew, the numerological value is 40. If you take the letter Nun, which from N, Amen, is 50. Together is 91. What is 91? It's a unique number. What is a unique number? If you look 4 seasons, 91 days, right? But there is more than that. You take the male aspect of God and the female aspect of God. There is male and female. The male is 26. The female is 65. Together you get amen. So when a person says amen, it's not about just, I agree, or I'm with you. No. I'm connecting the blessing that comes from above with the receiving from below. And I combine it. So when somebody answers amen, he activating the blessing of himself. So let's say you say, Baruch atah, Borei pri ha'etz. And somebody in the room say, amen. Because of that amen, it's been activated. Without that amen, you didn't fully activate it. So you always need somebody in the room to look and say amen. Don't forget to say amen. I'm about to do a blessing, please. Please. You know? Doing blessing, I need my energy for today. You have a coffee? Hey, שהכל נהיה בדברו. Sometimes in our family, I'm saying a blessing, and I'm really asking my children, hey, Say something. Say amen. Say amen. You know, because at that moment, if they don't say it, that's activation. It can be basically only in potential.
Can I ask you a question about
Yes, please, please.
So you know how you're supposed to say ha'etz or ha'adama, and then let's say if somebody else says it, and do you have to also say it, or you can just say amen, and that's qualified that you.
You always say amen if somebody else say the blessing, even if you already say that. Always.
So what if you don't say the blessing, somebody else says it, with the ha'adama or ha'etz?
Yeah, you can say amen. You can say amen for them. Say amen. Yeah, it's count. But if you want,
Part two, you have to say.
it depends. If you meditated, it's count. If you didn't meditate, it's count. You know, depends. Depends what you did. But here, what we're talking about mostly is the excitement about blessing. Once you get into details, what happened with my experience, and I hope you trust me, is your excitement will go down and you will be busy with the details. Be careful. Because depression can come as we focus on the details. Oh my God, I missed something. Don't go there. Go to the excitement of doing it. Don't go to the excitement of details. You know what I'm saying? Because then you become fanatic and religious, and then you lose the simplicity of the blessing. Simplicity of the blessing. So that's very important. Yes.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, please. One question.
I think
Yes.
amen also means like from your mouth to God's ears. Like may it be so.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
may what you say
I mean,
come
if
to
God
pass.
has an ear, He heard you. If God has an ear, He's definitely heard you. So it's definitely, you're absolutely right that you need to do that. You know, that you need to say it. But the amen is the one that been activated everything. You know, that's really what really activate everything. You know, so you have to always make sure that there is around people. But if there's nobody else, so you just do the blessing. That by itself activate everything. This is very, very powerful. Powerful. For example, if I do wine, like has been asked before, so it's enough for you to say amen, to drink the wine. It's enough for you to say it. That's from Malacha point of view. But if you didn't meditate on that, you have to do it. You know, if you talk in the middle of me doing the blessing, you have to do it. Understand? So there is details of that. But I don't want you in this tonight to be focused too much on the details. I want you to be aware of a blessing and amen. How powerful it is. It can actually change your life. It can save you $2,000 to go to motivation class, you know. Go ahead, please.
When this blessing ascends, all the grades above summon the non-shining, namely Malchut, to shine on it. Even more so, if it is a blessing said by many, it is adorned with holy crowns by means of saying Amen. Amen is the secret of the connections within each unification and sanctification in accordance with the secret of his master. It is properly adorns that blessing with sublime crowns.
I think I don't need to explain that. It's very simple. Let's continue from before. So let's go to 7. Go ahead.
The Holy One, blessed be he, favors those that bless him, and his passion is for the blessing that is below. That blessing rises and lights up the non-shining candle, which is Malchut, and strengthens it with a strong force to rise above, to unite with Zerampin. About this secret it is written, those who give me honor, I will honor. This verse refers to those who give blessings to the Holy One, blessed be he, and they that despite me shall be lightly esteemed. Refers to those who do not bless the Holy One, blessed be he, and withhold any blessings from their mouths.
This is for people who begin their spiritual journey, might be disturbed by that verse. It seems like if you are with me, good. If you're not, I will kill you. It seems like the family, you know, the mafioso. You got to join the past, and then I kill you. You know, it seems like that. But if you understand, there is deep meaning to it, very deep. And the deep meaning is, listen, I want to give you. All what I need from you is to receive. That's all what I need you. God wants to give you. But the way you receive is activated a desire by saying a blessing, by making sure somebody say amen. It's good. I mean, and can you imagine all this section in Ekev, all about food. All about food. We disrespect food, or we abuse food, or become addictive to food. That's stupid. The food. You know, people are busy if they eat vegan, vegetarians, or meat, or chicken, or dairy, or fish, or sushi, or where they eat. The only reason to go eat somewhere is to elevate yourself to the next level. But if you don't do the blessing, it's a problem. I was one time with my master in Mexico, just two of us alone, and somebody brought us a plate of fruit that I never seen before. So when you meet a fruit like that, you have to do special blessing. But I'm picky with food. So I did one blessing on one fruit, that's enough. But the other fruit that came was weird looking fruit. I never saw that. And I don't like to take chances like that. Allergy, and I'm looking, and it's only me and him, me and the Rav, alone. Big plate like this table. I say, no, Eliyahu. Well, what can we do? We have to bless it. So I say amen. No, you got to do it too. So you have to elevate. We need to elevate this wherever it came from. It came from above. We have to bring it back. So I have to eat it too. And some of the fruit was like, you open something and it's like, it's moving. It's like jelly. And I don't like things moving exactly. Things moving. And it's not just chili or whatever you call it, not chili, lychee. Not lychee. It was other type of food. It tastes good, not for me, but it tastes good for a lot of people who like that fruit. It's not. I'm simple. I have my rice and fish and cucumber, and I'm happy. You know, I remember when I was in Mexico, they gave me cactus with some food, and I didn't get the cactus with food. I didn't get it, or they wrap my food in leaves. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. It's like, you ever saw that in your life? It's wrapped in some leaves, and it's going into the oven. So it took me a long time to open it. And in the end, once you open it, someone's going, where's my food? You know, this, and different. And every country, why I love about culture, why there is even so many culture? Why there is so many countries? Do you even know? Because after the Tower of Babylon, Migdal Babel, after the Tower of Babylon, the energy is split to 70 levels. Every angel took a different energy. When you travel, those of you who like to travel, and hopefully you like and you can, when you travel to different culture, make sure the first thing Kabbalah do is buying a food or vegetables or a bottle of water and do a blessing. It's a secret, by the way, secret. Whenever you arriving to a country, go to the store, first thing, chocolate, something, stop, meditate. You can actually connect the entire country with the first blessing you do on food. The entire country connect to you at that moment. You arrive, meditate, and then do Baruch Atah, and then you activate your soul automatically. And if you like somebody next to you say amen, the whole thing going well. Don't just run into rent a car, because you're not elevating anything by renting a car. You're going to fight with somebody there for sure. You know, it's never going to be what they promise on a computer. You're going to come in, that's different. $29.99, no, that's bicycle. We have $89.99. Bicycle is for $29.99. But you show the computer, yeah, go rent it to the computer. They tell you, I love this because, you know, it's amazing. But when you're not elevating, stop. It takes 2 minutes. Buy a bottle of water, buy chocolate, buy fruit. Stop. Do a blessing. Do the amen. Bam! Everything starts to be activated. Now you start elevating. And that's why when I was with the Rav, he asked me to do on every fruit. We were in Mexico. Every fruit, one, another. All night. It's all night fruit that I ever seen. And every fruit is shechianu, which means you're blessing like you never saw it before. But the activation is beyond. And that's why, by the way, why in Israel, you cannot just take fruit from the tree and eat it. It's the only country that you're not allowed, even if the tree belongs to you, you cannot take the fruit from the tree. Not allowed. For two reasons. One reason, if the tree is not 3 years old, you're not allowed to touch the fruit of the tree. The first 3 years, the fruit go into the garbage. It's called orla. Orla is like foreskin. It's the same name. It's going, why? Because the first 3 years is keter, chokhmah, bina. Untouchable. The tree. After that, whatever you take, you have to give tithing from it. So you see a lot of time, religious people in Israel, they take usually 10 fruit, and they throw one to the garbage, and they do special blessing. And they even have an account in the bank that you actually pay a company that if by mistake you ate the wrong thing, you already did the tithing in the beginning of the month. It's amazing. I mean, this system, if you even, I don't want to confuse your head now, how organized it is, because they explained that in Israel, especially in Jerusalem, that's why I go there to be in Sukkot for the holiday of the fruit. Sukkot is the lulav, etrog, because I want to activate my life. When you do that, you activate everything, you elevate everything that's not working for you. You activate, you elevate yourself, elevate. And when you say amen, everything starts working. Can you imagine all those people working to look for a soulmate, look for a good job, better money, all kind of things. Everything was within the food and the blessing. Everything. Not a little bit, everything. And we continue. I think that's it for no, there's more stuff. 9.
One jump.
Skip 8.
Let's keep on. You're sitting next to me. You confuse me.
It jumped again.
Again, you see, I'm telling you. It's all about you.
The secret of secrets is for those who have knowledge and the wisdom of their master, to know the secret meanings of the blessings recited over the commandments of the Torah, and over all the enjoyments and pleasures in this world, to pour out blessings from above downward.
So, the pleasure, my friend, how do you look at pleasure in life? Is it your pleasure to enjoy, or you borrow the pleasure to enjoy? It's a question, guys. You're walking into your home, you get into your car, you go into your clothing, bring pleasure. And sometimes you even merge with another human being to have, both of you can have pleasure. Is it yours? Did you do blessing over it? You borrow it. You're only a visitor. You came as a visitor. What are you doing? It's not yours. Visitor. So you're going into everything. Oh, thank you. You know? And then the gratitude activate everything again. Gratitude, just a little bit gratitude. Not a lot, a little bit gratitude. A little bit. So you look at the apple. You look at the banana. What does this apple contain? That apple has a seed. If it's a good apple, has a seed. That seed came from what? From another apple tree. And that came from another one, going all the way to the Garden of Eden. So every time you do a blessing, you connect to the seed level. That's why seedless grapes and watermelon, we're missing it a little bit in our days today. I mean, the generation, like my kids, they don't understand grapes with seed. What is that? They will not understand it. If by mistake one of the grapes has seed, so they are bad grapes. They will say, something is wrong. No, this is it. This is the seed of the original. That's why it's called keter. That's why it's called zera. You know? But nowadays, you know, you have smart people who are capable to eliminate the connection to where the blessing came from. Watermelon. I mean, you see watermelon, it's very hard to find watermelon with seed nowadays. There is, by the way, there is. In Europe, they still have it. In Greece, they still have it. I don't think Israel have it, but it used to. And because if you take all the seed out of the watermelon, what left, right? That's why they took them out. I don't know if you remember, 30 years ago, when you eat watermelon, you see holes, almost like the card that they used for the computer. Remember those cards, the paper card? You know, punching? Yeah. Has so many holes, what left? Nothing, you know? And that, the old days, corn. If you buy corn, you know, any corn that you buy has some issues. Today, corn is like, went to plastic surgery. Corn are perfect. Nothing is missing. I mean, those of you are old, not old enough, but wasn't too long ago, 25 years ago, corn has some ear little issue. Sometimes the worm come out. I'm sorry to say it, but I mean, today even the worm doesn't want to touch it. We used to have a field, you know. Before I worked in a kibbutz, we used to have a field with watermelon, corn, wheat, everything. The deer at night come and hunt. You think we have to like have somebody to watch over the field that they're not coming at night and eat everything because they knew it's real. When it's not real, the animal not going to get close to the corn. They sniff it and they go away. How do they know? The bugs don't want to touch it. Bug. The bug has more brain than us. All the food industry nowadays, it's a big industry, maybe you don't know, but It's a very big industry. The Zohar tried to give us a hint. All the disease, according to the Kabbalists from 2,000 years ago, all the disease come from food. All the cure come from food. So we need to find a way. I mean, you go tell it to people, it will be difficult. You go talk to the people who are vegan, also will be difficult because they're closed-minded. They only think about the ingredients from a physical point of view. People don't want to connect to spiritual ingredient. In every grape, there is God. In every watermelon, there is God. Don't disconnect God from the fruit. Don't do that. You are eating the fruit from God. How can you not say a blessing? The blessing now activating the physical from the spiritual. So there is two things I'm teaching you tonight. The physical food, as it is, and within the physical food, it's split into the spiritual and the physical. The spiritual give you the spirit of happiness. That's why a lot of time after you eat, you become depressed. Because you just stole something. Your soul feel it. You didn't do a blessing. Stop. Do a blessing. Don't do it because you're religious. Do it because you want the spirit of the food, not the physical. I don't want just the apple. After I eat the apple or the meat or the steak, I'm sorry to say it, not a nice way, you go into the bathroom. That's how Rabbi Isaac Luria explained it 500 years ago. Why are you going to the bathroom? Because you're releasing all the physical food that went to you. What about the spirit of the food? That depends if you did the blessing. If you did the blessing, then the spirit of the food stay with you. And that's for that reason. You cannot eat that much meat during the week. According to Rabbi Isaac Luria, don't eat meat at all during the week. Don't touch meat. He writes that the meat spirit is impossible to elevate it during the week. Impossible. That's what he writes. Only on Shabbat, he said you can eat a little bit just for elevating it. But you cannot, very difficult, he said. Be careful. He asks, be careful because within the meat there is reincarnation. There is all kind of issues. That those issues can bother you, become sad. That's why there is reincarnation of a killer. You just have a steak that actually is a killer. You didn't do a blessing that stay in your body for 3 days, 72 hours. The energy, not the meat, the energy. And it bothers you. Negative thought, depression, anger, all kind of weird stuff. And you said, what did I do? Why am I so sad? Well, you ate the meat. That meat was a reincarnation of a killer from the gold rush and jump into your cow. Steak was good, juicy. The blood was all over your mouth. It was good. You take a kosher steak, it's a disaster. I took a guy, God bless him, from Florida, and he's addicted to steak. Has to have steak Saturday night. So I said, come with me. And he explained to me the difference between kosher steak and non-kosher steak. And he showed me a picture. He explained to me, here you cut it, it's still alive. So your steak to kosher people has nothing. You got nothing to offer me. I said, it's not true. Give me a chance. So he warned me for 3 years. I could never prove to him. One day, I found the solution. I found a restaurant from New York who make kosher steak in the best way. I ordered that steak. I ordered it for him, invite him to my house. I love to do it to people. I said, my dear friend, and I said, what can I do? I have to feed you something you like. So again, he's eating. Saturday night, I said, Eliyahu, you also stop eating kosher meat. I said, no. I said, what is that? I said, kosher. You sure? I said, yeah, show him the paper. Kosher. Order it from New York, they ship it. I said, wow. I said, can we get a deal that you will listen to me? Church, to listen to me, what's going on? It's not about religion. It's about spirituality. The blood of the animal stays inside your body for 72 hours. You're thinking like a cow. So what do you mean? So you will think like a cow. Whatever you eat, make you think. Adam wa nefesh. Your nefesh become it. You eat vegetables, you think like a celery. I'm sorry to tell you. You eat chemical, you think like a mineral. You are it. The blessing is keep your life not to be in danger. When you do blessing, when you do actually the blessing, you separate the good from the bad. Without blessing, you're in a big problem. You hear about those people that, the famous story in America, somebody take machine gun, start shooting everybody. The police talk to the person, he's a good man. What happened? He said, I don't know. Nobody ever asked that man, Did you ever go next to a river and just drink the water from the river without a cup and without a blessing? Because if you look at the Ari, Rabbi Isaac Luria, he writes, all killer reincarnate into running water, into meat and to other things, but running water, stone, and other thing. So now, he drink the water without a vessel, without a cup, without a blessing. He has no chance. The killer is inside of him. Now the killer starts to control his body, what to do. When he wake up, he doesn't even know why he did it. But only in 3 days, he will realize it was a stupid mistake. But at that moment, no. So when God said to you, if you don't do the blessing, you will suffer. It's not that God is after you. It's you are doing it to yourself. How stupid can it be when we tell you, do that and your life will be great. Don't do that, it's not. But unfortunately, because religiosity as it is today is scaring people get fast result, right? I remember I grew up in a religious school and they told me if I eat meat with cheese, God will strike me on the spot and kill me. That's how I grew up, in Bnei Brak. So I had to rebel against it. That's why I can talk to anybody. And I left to a kibbutz. Said I have to enjoy life. Kibbutz does to teach you. Kibbutz is a life of how can I not believe in God? It helps you not to believe in God. You know, the party, if it's Yom Kippur, everybody fast. In Kippur, in the kibbutz, you take a pig and you barbecue the pig in front of everybody. That's a life. So I'm there. So everybody is now not keeping anything, and I'm the only one who keep. But I said it's time to test my belief system. So I have a Jeep. You know, we work in the field. I take the Jeep, and I take it's a certain kind of meat. It's a cold cut. I don't know if you know mortadella. You know what mortadella? No, nobody knows. You know mortadella? Okay, so it's Italian sausage. Put it. You know mortadella? Wow. And I put the yellow cheese on the mortadella, and I have a sandwich. My first time. And I said, okay, God, the sky is clean. There is no lightning. I'm good. I'm nervous. Now you have to know what they put in my mind is very scary. And I'm shaking, looking around, and I'm taking a bite. No blessing, no nothing. It's going well. It actually tastes good. I'm eating it. Because what people don't fully understand, God never want to punish you or do bad things for you. But God is giving you a suggest how your life can be better if you do it the other way. And I'm so happy that I did that. And I'm so happy that I experienced life the way I did. Because, I mean, my kids never experienced anything to do with non-kosher or anything like that. You know? So for them, it's very different. But I can be a great teacher to them because I can talk to them in a way that this is what it feels like, this is what it is, and this is life, okay? This is life. So if I talk to somebody who's totally don't believe in God, I can talk. A rabbi who's totally only believe in God, I can talk. But religiosity took away from people the choice and put fear in the brain and people choosing the right thing because they're afraid. They're afraid to die. They're afraid they're not going to have money. They're afraid they're not going to be healthy. God love you. God love you no matter what you're going to do. God love you unconditional. But there is a way to make your life a little bit better with the blessing, with the amen. That's why it say Ekev. Ekev tishme'un. If you will listen, God say if you will listen, life will be easier. But if you don't listen, okay too. But I'm giving you a suggestion, like how to make it better for you. Listen, apply those mitzvot or the different thing. The reason I don't use the word mitzvah because sometimes the connotation of the word mitzvah is fanatic, is religiosity. But the truth of the matter is mitzvah comes from the word tzavta. Tzavta means gathering people together. Mitzvah also, it's a code of the name of God, Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. The Mem Tzadik and Atbash change to Yud-Ke. And the Vav-He in the end, Vav-He. But I cannot go to details, blow your mind right now. But the idea is when you do something spiritual, understand it's for you. Don't do it for God. Don't become religious. If you become religious, you do it for God. And God will give you no matter what. The only people God stay away from is egomaniac. That's what the Talmud writes. Talmud writes, only one type of people. If somebody starts to have ego, God said, I'm sorry. I'll wait until you come down. So, you want to tell me people with cross or yarmulke or imam don't have ego? Of course they do. They have ego. Those are the people who are away from God. It doesn't matter how much kippah you have, yarmulke. It's how much ego you have. Do you believe that you need help? Do you believe that you need blessing? If you do, open up. Everything is open. Very important. I don't know if I want to read 9, but let's do it. Why not?
He explains the exception is the blessing and the prayer service, which are the correction of their master. They both rise from below upwards and from above downwards, while the blessings that are not over the prayer rise from below upwards until they reach the non-shining light, which is Malchut, and awaken it with force by that blessing. This awakening rises high up until it reaches the highest throne, which is Binah, the source of all life, meaning that all lights emanate from it. Other blessings then flow from the higher source, and they meet and kiss one another. They approach and rest on the head of the righteous, that is Yesod or Zerampin, to pour down. When they descend, the patriarchs, which are Chesed, Gevurah, and Teferet of Zerampin, and the children, which are the Nesach and Hod and Yesod of Zerampin, are blessed, and all their candles, which are the Sephirot of Malchut.
Confused, right? But try to imagine the energy is flowing down and the energy is coming back up. So try to think of there is a curtain and or jumping on a trampoline. Okay, so you jump and then you go up. So meaning the blessing is coming down. But the only way you can receive that blessing is how much of that blessing you actually bless. So when you're sitting in front of a cheesecake and you remember to say Borei Minei Mezonot or Sha'akol, whatever blessing, is to activating a cup for the blessing to rest within you. Okay? You ready for more, Mr. Rob?
Yes.
Because I gotta use you. Right? I don't know when you're coming back, so make sure. Once I have you, to make sure. I mean, the voice from Shrek. I mean, after all. All right, here we are. Now we are going to talk about how we actually activating those forces in an easier way, shortcut, what we call. And we call that time Shabbat. During the week, it's sometimes difficult to eat, to do different things, and to elevate ourselves to a higher level. But during Shabbat, there's few things that you got to do, 10 of them. And if you do those 10 things, everything is perfect. But don't do it from fear. Do it with understanding. Go ahead.
There are 10 things one must do for the meal.
10, guys, 10.
Number 1, the hand washing. Number 2, the preparation of the 2 Shabbat challah loaves. Number 3, to eat of 3 meals and add from weekdays to holiness. Number 4, to light a candle on the table, as we explained that a table should be to the north side and the candle on the south, and to recline, as was explained that if they recline together, one makes the blessing for everyone.
Beautiful. So let's see what we have here. We have washing the hand. Not because they're dirty, because if they're dirty, it should say rechitzat yadayim. It doesn't say washing, by the way, in Hebrew. It says netila. In well-spoke Hebrew, that I don't even use as Israeli, okay? Netila means litol, to take. So you wash your hand, that's what you do, but you actually take your hand. Taking your hand from who? Who took my hand? The hand represents physicality. How many fingers normally you have? If you're not Tony Montoya, you have 10 fingers, right? You know the movie, right? Princess Bride. So you have 10 fingers. You like it?
And Nigo Montoya. Tony Montoya.
I'm sorry, I know. It's from Tony, left from the Italian movie.
Scarface.
I get confused with the other movie we talked about before. What was that?
That's Goodfellas.
Good fellow.
Scarface.
Tony and Montoya. What is name?
Scarface.
What is name? Antigo?
Inigo Montoya.
Nigo?
Inigo.
Inigo Montoya. Prepare to die.
Good, my father. Forget.
Anyway, sorry, we're laughing here, but we're having a good time here. So, washing of the hand is representing that you take the hand back. Now, the meditation for washing of the hand, if you do all the meditation, which I not recommend because you're going to waste 1 or 2 hours, okay? Usually if you see me, if you are coming sometimes Friday night, sometimes when we open the meal, you see that my son bring me the washer, and there is a book next to me that I read a lot of meditation after meditation after meditation. the meditation there is actually activated everything. You take the physical hand that you use for physicality, you take it back and make it yours. Second thing is set up the table. One of the biggest things that if you ever want to be part of Shabbat, always making sure that you set up the table. Either the chair, either clean the floor, either put something you gotta do. You gotta do something for Shabbat. Third, bread. And hopefully Debbie soon, she want to get all the women, because the mitzvah, the concept of making bread is actually for the women. The women have to do chalot. And when the women do chalot together, if you can make 10 women do chalot together here or in somebody's home, and do it with the right meditation, because you can't speak, by the way. I don't know if you ever work with Debbie when she makes the bread. You don't speak. Don't speak until a certain moment when they're ready. Then you get, because it's a moment of truth for a woman to activate all the energy she needs. Always, we said, you know, in Sephardic Kabbalistic style, when women are not married, we always teach them how to bake a bread. That's a tradition from old Moroccan, Libyan, North Africa. That's what they do. It's okay, not married. And for the men, they let to make a dish for Shabbat. So those two things, they're making sure that being activated the soulmate energy. So that's why I tell always Debbie, I said, women, push Debbie, or Debbie, go with them, to do some, one evening a week, and all the women come and they do it together. It's not a big deal, you know, not a big deal. If not here, to do it to somebody else's home, and to do it together, everybody, it's fun. In Israel, it's a very known thing. They go to somebody's house and it's activated. Okay, and they call it Afrashat Chala. You study a little bit, and you sing some song, and you have a good time. Because from the time the flour is mixed with the water, till the challah is ready, what is it, like 2.5 hours or 3 hours, and you're happy, then you can eat or don't eat. The purpose is not to eat it, actually. The purpose is to make it for a woman. It's very powerful. So, chalot. And the reason it's called bread, I mean, there's so much explanation, and the time is short. So, then we have to eat. How many times? 3 times. 3 times. You have to eat Friday night, Saturday morning, afternoonish, and 2 hours before Shabbat over. Okay, you have to eat. You gotta eat. You gotta eat. And Rabbi Shimon said, whoever do those 3 meals can ask for anything that they want, by the way. Anything that they want. How powerful it is. Now, please, that's you're gonna love that part.
On Shabbat, one should add from weekdays to holiness in everything he does, in his food and drink, his dress and his seating. He should prepare a comfortable reclining bed with many pillows and embroidered cushions from all that he has in his house, and as when preparing the marriage canopy for the bride, because Shabbat is both a queen and a bride. Due to this, the sages of the Mishnah used to hasten to come out on Shabbat Eve to welcome her on the way. And they used to say, come bride, there's a need to invoke on that table song and joy for her.
So what's going on, my friend? So when we talk on Shabbat, sometimes I see people come to us on Shabbat, and they come with the days of the week with them, and they get stuck in the days of the week. This is Shabbat. What you busy with this and this and that? My son asked me, if I find a way to turn the TV on with the clock, there is a special thing for the Mondial, is it okay? I say, halacha-wise, it's okay. You're allowed to do it, by the way, but I don't want you to do it. He said, why? He said, why? He asked me a very good question, why? I said, because it's lo beruach HaShabbat. It's getting your mind away from the gift into the days of the week. You know, can you imagine that you are in a meeting and you know that person talked to you like that? That's what he said. Listen, I want to give you $5 million. I just want you to invest it correctly. And you keep talking for 20 minutes. You get bored after the first 2 minutes, and you take your phone out and you start going to your Facebook and Instagram. Would you do that? You know it might turn the rich man off. Why we allowed to do it when we come into the Shabbat, which is much more than 5 million? Because we don't believe really it's $5 million. We don't believe because we've been bombarded by religious mind people. They're telling us, you got to keep the Shabbat because it's forbidden not to keep it. You understand? It's a sick thing that happened to humanity. For example, Rosh Hashanah is coming. Most people think Rosh Hashanah it's a Jewish holiday. You look at the book of the Talmud, the Gemara, it says Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Hashanah for people, not for Jewish people only, for people. It's Adam and Eve were non-Jewish. I don't know if you, I'm sorry to break it down to you. You didn't know that? Adam and Eve. Adam didn't wear the Magen David here, the star. And he danced with his curly hair. I'm sorry. He didn't have a cross. He didn't have it wasn't. It was human. So we're celebrating the birthday of Adam. So every human being on the day of Rosh Hashanah being judged. How long he's going to live, how much money he's going to have, everything on that day. So all humans need to take it seriously. Rosh Hashanah is a very serious holiday. How come it's not been announced? Because religiosity. It has to be stop all businesses, stop everything. It's a human holiday. Turn off everything. People worry about global warming. There is a solution for global warming. Turn off everything, everything. You can. That keep people safe for Rosh Hashanah, at least. A human holiday. You want to know when is the human holiday? Rosh Hashanah. All Chinese has to do Rosh Hashanah. All Muslim, or Jewish, or Christian, everybody. But unfortunately, there is misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. And that's why when Shabbat is coming, people still have to go to the phone and check. How is the stock market? Well, the stock market is closed. Did you know that? Oh, I need to check that they closed. That's how I know it's closed. If you cannot keep away yourself for 25 hours from your phone, then what are you worth for? What is your worth? I mean, if you cannot say no to something, then this thing control me. Then it's sick a little bit. Yeah, I'm a big shot. And I learned it from, actually the first lesson I got was here in California. And there is a private airport in the valley, I don't remember, not Van Nuys, there is another one.
Burbank.
Huh?
Burbank?
Maybe, I don't remember. So I flew with this billionaire guy. He has a printing factory. And he has nothing on him. And I didn't get it. No phone, no nothing. So I asked him, I had to ask him. I said, what do you do? I mean, I said, well, right now, I'm very important for myself. Time with you, you're teaching me spirituality. You are a wise man. I need that time with you. I don't want to be disturbed by my phone. I don't want nothing. I have 24 hours with you, and you agree to come with me and to bless all my property. I want to be only with you. I don't want to be with my phone. I don't want to talk to my pilot. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to talk to you. And whatever you need, whatever I need, we can have a conversation. That's how I do my business. I look at this gentleman and I said, wise man, just teach me a greatest lesson of my life. And he teach me another lesson about business. I said, then what makes you so rich? And he said to me, assume nothing. So 2 words, that's it. Say, assume nothing. I assume that nothing will be done if I'm not doing it myself. Assume nothing. And by the way, I asked another guy, told to me the same thing. They went to the same school, even they didn't go to the same school. What I'm teaching you tonight, guys, there's so much good in the world. There's so much good when Shabbat taking a place, but you have to take advantage of it. Stop saying, okay, Friday night is coming, there's a big party going on in town. The party can wait Saturday night too. The party can wait Saturday, but don't stop to go to the party because of religious mind. If you do it, then you're going to fall again. I promise you'll fall again. If you do it from the right thing, I remember when I left the kibbutz and I went back to Bnei Brak, now I have to go back to a religious city. I went to a religious city, of course all the rabbis say, oh, Jian is back. So all the rabbis now fighting over me to come to their yeshiva, So I'm going, and my cousin always remind me that. And I said, I'm not doing these religious things again. So the rabbi invited me. So I'm sitting at a table of Shabbat, already put beautiful girls next to me to tell me where the future will be if I keep Shabbat and religion. So I remember in the end of the Shabbat, I go to my cousin, say, we have to go out. So where have you been? It's 11 o'clock. So I'm worried that I become religious again. And I don't want to love God from a religious point of view. So what do you want to do? I said, just go out. We have to go party. This is Friday. And then I know that I'm not fanatic. After a while, when I start doing Shabbat for the right reason, I remember my cousin came to my house. And I used to smoke at that time. And he smoked and he lighted one for me, one for him. That's how we used to do it. Oh, you quit smoking. I'm so proud of you. It took him 3 weeks because I never want to tell him. Never want to tell him what's going on. Because I didn't want to come across as a religious attitude. I'm telling you the same thing. Don't change your life spiritually because of fear. Change your life because there is so much more. So much more for you that you can do, and start working on it. Whatever, when you come here to Shabbat, why am I looking at my phone? There is emergency? Am I babysit someone? Am I a doctor? There is this guy is very fanatic religious, and he's Atzala. He's one of the driver in the ambulance. So he has his phone on him all the time, and this and that. So sometimes does the pray, he live in the middle. In the beginning, everybody judged him until he knew who he was. He's a doctor and a driver, too. Crazy, right? Work. The idea is you need to start to value yourself. Value yourself. If you cannot say no to one party a week, something is wrong with you. Not with the party, not with the world, not with religion, not with Shabbat. Something is wrong with you. How can you not say no? And I remember when I started doing it, I started having all my friend and my cousin, say, hey man, there's party going on, there. We got a driver with a limousine, that. They're coming. I said, I'm going to skip it. And it was my first time. Skip it? Are you okay? Skip it. And I was so proud of myself that I actually can say no to me. Not to them, no to me. So I'm actually saying no to the cheesecake, no to the invitation, no. Wow, I have some ego after that. I said, I can say no? Woo! This is good. And then that made me grow. Can you read more? You gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go. So we're just gonna skip because we don't have that much time. So I'm gonna, there's so much. I put all of it. I told Debbie I cannot finish all of it in one because I'm talking a lot. So we did, how many we did? We did 4?
Yes.
Yeah, we did 4. So let's go to the 5th one. So this is, we skip few. Here we go.
The 5th thing it behooves us to prepare on Shabbat is the cup of wine for saying, thus the heavens and the earth were finished.
Just to let you know, the preparation of the cup is not just bringing the cup. The cup is to be, as you see always my children take the cup away and then bring it back. It's washed from outside, washed from inside. And the cup represents your desire for the whole week. How your desire going to look like, how much you're going to want, how people are going to look at you. Go ahead.
Namely Kiddush. The 6th is to speak the words of Torah at the table.
When you eat food, the food is physical. So on Shabbat, you have to be careful. You're too much into the food. You want to bring some wisdom, some spiritual knowledge on the table. Go ahead.
The 7th is to extend the meal and allow the poor to come to the table.
Very important on Shabbat to find somebody who cannot afford it. Find one person at least who cannot afford it.
The 8th is washing the hands with finger bowl water.
Most of the time I don't teach that to people because it can become fanatic. After you eat, remember, when we wash our hand, we're not cleaning it. We are basically taking it back from physicality into spirituality. That's why it's a netilat yadayim, taking the hand. So after you eat the food, now your hand has within them the physical consciousness. So what we do, we only wash without blessing the tip of the finger. Just the tip, not a big deal. Not with a lemon like they do in a fancy restaurant. I'm talking about with water, just a little bit of water, no big deal.
The 9th is the blessing after the meal. The 10th is the cup for the blessing after the meal. It is necessary to repeat these 10 things and to prepare them in accordance with the holy meaning, for She Malchut is comprised of 10 Sifrot. Malchut is considered the table of the Holy One, blessed be He, from the side of Gevurah. Hence the sages have explained that the tables should face the north, which is from the side of Gevurah.
So now you know when I'm sitting in a certain place, it's not random. Nothing that we do here, it's random. So I always sit with the back, if you watch me usually, back to here, which is north, okay? And they be light the candle where? In the south. But if you start to be more aware, we don't fully explain it because we didn't want you to become too fanatic. We want you to understand. So sometimes I touch the bread while I'm speaking, while sometimes I touch the wine. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything is the right meditation, but I can't say everything. So if my son, let's say, do the Amot, I tell him, sit here, please. So it's not just sit here because of respecting him. It has to be, it's a surgery. It's a very serious. And whoever is in our house at that time, the meditation that we do activate your life. It's a very serious business. So it's not like, oh, we have to believe. No, believe or not believe, believe or not believe. Once you are here and we do those meditation, you've been activated. That's how powerful it is. Just walking in, being activated. That's why, one of our students, God bless her, she's always hard optimistic. I want that cup that you touch. Oh, give me a little bit. So people look, no. So okay, but I can never say no. You know why I can never say no? Because I used to do it with my teacher as well. I took always the cup away from him. And all the other students said, what are you doing? So, no, I have to, I don't care. And everybody, for 20-something years, people judge me. And I always got, bread. So there is one from your hand. From your hand. Now I'm afraid that I tell it now, everybody come from your hand, And that's why I have a piece of matzah that I bake. You all know about it. And it's come from my second level of the tray. And whoever has problem usually will come to me. I always cut a piece and I tell them, keep it in your wallet and you will be safe. Guys, I can talk about it forever. And we want to thank Debbie for pushing me to do that, because I was nervous about it, because I said it might sound too religious. And she told me, she motivated me. She said, I know you can do it. You did it for so many years. Share that part because people need to know. So I think it was a good idea. And thank Rob for his amazing voice. Thank you. Thank you, people at the house. Thank you.